Hi, this is Kenny Turnage, or Ken Turnage II, however you want to refer to me. As you get to know me better over the next videos that come out, you'll probably start to refer to me as Kenny. Today, for Let's Talk About It, we want to talk about how vital it is for small businesses to succeed and help our nation get out of our financial crisis we are headed into. According to Kevin O'Leary, we are looking at losing 20% of the businesses that have received the payroll protection loans. These are going to be our restaurants, our entertainment businesses, our businesses that are provided by sporting events and different things that are from large groups and gatherings. Yes, it's going to be hard for us to get together if we got to stay 6 feet apart. It's going to be hard to go see your favorite concert again. I know I'm going to be very disappointed. I was hoping the Rolling Stones would continue their tours of their last tours and I'd get this one more chance to see them. Might not happen. One good thing is Keith Richards will still be there for us when this is all done. Also, Jon Taffer said 40% of our bars are going to not reopen once this pandemic is completed. We're going to lose different businesses such as Sweet Tomatoes. They've already said that they're not going to reopen. Here locally, we have a company called Saddle Rack is not going to reopen. And these are going to just be a continual amount of businesses that don't reopen because their business structure is due to capacity. With losing a lot of capacity, we're not going to be able to generate our overheads in these businesses to pay for what it takes to run them. Our unemployment rate has gone from 7.1 million to 14.7 million in just a matter of a couple months. This number is not actually correct either, because this is just the unemployment rate of the people that are looking for jobs. The actual number, because if you add the people that aren't looking for jobs, they're just waiting for their shelter in place to be released, we're over 24%, which is just south of our highest ever that we had during the Great Depression of just over 25%. So with losing so many businesses and our country generating as much as it is in national debt, we're over $25 million in national debt. And if you go to the national debt clock, which I know isn't completely accurate because our debt doesn't grow evenly all the way through, but their projection is we're gaining debt at $2.7 million per minute right now. That's a lot of money. I don't know if anybody realizes how much that is, but sit down and try to write down $25 million and every minute do the math of adding $2.7 million to it. I guarantee you're going to get writer's cramp really quick. Warren Buffett, he's the guy. I mean, everybody wants to go to Warren Buffett for what he says, and he put out his opinion on right now what's going on with the US and the national debt. His thing is if you print bonds in your own currency, what you have to worry about is what will happen to the currency you have. He says the U.S. is smart enough to issue debt in its own currency, but yet no other country does this. We're the only country that does. In my opinion, this is the same mentality as saying, I'm not out of money yet. There's still checks in my checkbook. This mentality will not suffice. It would not work in your house. It would not work in mine. There is no way we can continue to go forward spending money at the rate that we are without generating additional tax revenue. Our checkbook's already empty. Now we have Kamala Harris saying that she wants to give everybody an additional $2,000 a month during this pandemic for the next year. Where is this money going to come from? Who is going to pay for it? How is our national debt going to keep growing without the U.S. starting to default on their loans? What happens when our credit rating gets reduced once again? We start losing credit rating, we start losing our ability to pay back, our dollar gets devalued, now it becomes a heck of a lot more to pay off our national debt. It's going to be $200 to fill up your gas tank if our dollar gets devalued. Has anybody paid attention to what happened in Brazil? Their money is devalued to where you can't buy anything right now. And if we keep going in debt and we get ourselves to where we're in default, what happens then? Our country files bankruptcy? Is that even possible? Can we sustain what we're doing? What we need to do is replenish our checkbook. And the way that we replenish our checkbook is by investing back into our businesses, our people that generate tax money. Here locally, we have a golf course, for instance, and this golf course is going to lose 25% of their rounds that they could get people to come out and do. There are increased overhead costs in what it takes to sanitize the different golf carts, the golf balls, everything that needs to be done. I know a golf course is just a small example, but it's something that a lot of people enjoy and have fun doing. This golf course, Lone Tree Golf Course here in Antioch, California, is going to have a hard time making it through this pandemic once we come out the other side, just due to the fact that either one, costs have to go up. Once costs go up, people quit going. If you're not working and you don't have money and you're trying to live on $2,000 a month that the government's giving you, how are you going to be able to spend additional money to go anywhere, do anything, or have anything? With the government shutdown that came into place, this golf course was already implementing all the different things that they're saying that they want done now. One person per cart, the sanitation of the carts, the social distancing. But yet that wasn't good enough. They wanted them to shut down because being in a golf cart by yourself wasn't social distancing. We need to apply common sense. Friend of mine has a restaurant in Calistoga, a restaurant and a sports bar right next to one another. They are going to lose 40% of their occupancy that they can have in there. And when you have a restaurant or a small business, it's a lifestyle, you know, you're really running tight. There's not that much extra money that you have in these things to incur a direct 40% loss of seating capacity. That would be like me telling you, you have $5,000 a month, but you need to lose 40% of that. You're down to $3,000 a month. Can you survive? What do you need to cut? That's what's happening to these restaurants and other businesses that are predicated on capacity. So when they lose their capacity like that, are we as the customer going to be able to handle the $25 hamburger, the $50 steak, the $14 margarita? Remember, you've just had your money cut also. How is this going to work? How are we going to make this happen so we can get these businesses back up and going to generate the tax revenue to go ahead and replenish this checkbook that's already sitting in a negative? I know in order to do this, we have to use common sense. I know a lot of people say common sense is dead and it needs to be called extraordinary thinking because it's almost a damn superpower anymore. But it's something we have to use. It makes no sense whatsoever that we've been able to go to places like Walmart, Target, Home Depot, Lowe's, Costco in absolute masses, but we can't go to a store like TJ Maxx or JC Penney's or any other of the small boutique type of shops where we could still social distance and do the same type of shopping there. It's almost like they're picking our winners and losers for us by funneling us through these 5 major stores and turning it into a human petri dish. Does the governor of California hate small businesses? Is there an agenda against them? It makes no sense whatsoever. It easily could have been done as a capacity amount for how big of a store you have per square footage. It could have been a mathematical equation just like we do use right now for fire hazards. I would remind our elected leaders that small business is the backbone of America and our state. It is the backbone. We are the ones that generate our tax revenues. We are the ones that employ the majority of the people out there. Your large businesses, yes, they're going to succeed. They're going to be okay. They're going to be able to go forward and implement. But the small business, the mom and pop, the little boutique shop, your different types of treasure trove shops, your little bakeries, your florists, these places here are the ones that are the backbone to our society. What the government needs to do is invest back into our businesses, not through these SBA loans, but actual true investment back into the businesses, whether it be from the federal, state, or local level. We run into a lot of issues. Here in California, one of our big issues is Prop 47. It's legal to steal up to $950 out of a damn store and not get in trouble. Now let's go back to common sense and tell me how much common sense that makes. You can go into a store, steal whatever you want, not get in trouble. Our DAs will not prosecute. They will not help our businesses out. We have a DA in San Francisco that says he will not prosecute for public urination. So that means I could go to any place in San Francisco with my family, someone could urinate in front of my children, and there's no repercussion whatsoever. And believe me, if you ever go to San Francisco, this happens consistently over there. This right here minimizes and hurts their tourism industry. This is going to take their foot traffic down to as low as it can go. They've already had complaints before COVID-19 from the hotel industry and loss of many conventions because of the homeless situation over there. With having these types of policies, I guess it's a good thing that it's cold and foggy in San Francisco and it minimizes visibility and causes shrinkage. The small businesses being helped locally is paramount for getting our country back up and running the way it should be, can be, and has to be. We have a lot of different ways that this could be done. Locally is the first step. We need our cities to help with our shopping centers. It's very rough, especially here in California and in the Bay Area where I am located at. Almost any shopping center you go to, it's full of blight. It's uncomfortable to go into. There are people that are homeless that are sleeping in it. Our cities have to invest into helping protect our businesses. I know they want to say that it's the business owner and the property owner's responsibility to clear the property, to maintain the property, which it is. As a property owner myself, it is my responsibility to make sure it's lit up. It is my responsibility to make sure that it's clean from standard debris. We pay a lot in tax to our cities, counties, and states. It is a very big number that gets spent by small business. With this money that's spent, it should be spent back on the business. We need our police departments to help. I know where we're at, our police department does an excellent job with what they're allowed to do. But our police are currently handcuffed by our state government and what they can do to help protect the properties. We as small businesses should be demanding our cities use our tax dollars that we are generating to put the taxpayer and the tax generator first. That is the only way we're going to get out of this. That is the only way that this is going to work. Small businesses need to demand that their local government invest back into them first. It is a small business's responsibility to make sure that their property is clean and well lit from standard debris and standard lighting issues. But when you're inundated by outside forces that you cannot control, our government needs to step in and actually help out. Right now, where we are currently in Antioch, California, it has become the popular and vogue thing to put out and help for homeless advocacy and help the homeless people. Believe me, I'm the absolute first person when someone needs a hand up to help them out. But these people that just want to sit by, get high, get drunk, like in San Francisco right now, they're putting the homeless up in hotels and giving them drugs and alcohol to subsidize their addictions. This is not acceptable for what we have going in our society. It is not the way it should be. We should not be spending our tax dollars on that type of stuff. It needs to go back into the business. It needs to go back into the community that helps everybody that are paying taxes. Our properties that we go into to do our shopping need to be free and clear so patrons could come in and feel comfortable to spend their dollars, which generates tax revenues for these cities. Remember, We have a checkbook that needs to be replenished, not one that needs to keep going negative, getting overdraft notices. At some point, it's going to get to where the taxpayer and the tax generators are going to look at our government and remind them at one time there was a Tea Party in Boston. Small businesses need to create an association. Not like a chamber of commerce where you get together, you go to mixers, you talk to one another. Here for our local chamber of commerce, I was a part of it and then didn't go for 10 years. Went back, and within 2 mixers, I was caught up with everybody's gossip. It was kind of like watching a soap opera on TV. It's absolutely horrible. So what needs to happen is local small businesses need to find a person that has their voice. Someone that's able to get with other voices from other local small businesses in adjacent communities, come together, and then go further petitioning into their county and state levels. There are drastic changes that need to be made. Businesses are getting crushed by the encumbrance put out there, especially in the state of California. They need to get together. They need to approach the state at a different level than what's going on right now and let them know that if this continues, there will not be any more tax dollars coming. There won't be any more money generated because of the employees that are employed by these small businesses. At some point, the straw will come that breaks the camel's back. It's become obvious that our leaders have lost touch with what it is to be a small business. Our leaders have no idea what it is to work a 70-hour work week. They have no idea what it means to be there at 2 in the morning, making sure things are ready so your employees can have a day's work the next day. If I'm wrong, it's already too late. As we said earlier, small business is the backbone of America. Every now and then, you have to listen to the pains that your back is showing. As a start, what the state could do is survey the businesses. Ask them what their needs are, where they see their loss at, what their shrinkage rates are due to some of the laws and propositions they have passed that are affecting the small businesses. Once that was done, they could look at, okay, what can the state, county, or cities do to make it better for the businesses that are being impacted? 1, get a DA that actually prosecutes. Yes, and I'm talking directly to you, Contra Costa County and San Francisco County. 2, look at what could be done to get the homeless out of our shopping centers and out from underneath the entrances into the businesses. 3, start repealing some of these laws that have our police department handcuffed and unable to do their job that they wish they could do that they signed up for. And 4, communicate with the businesses what they are planning to do in the future so the voice of the taxpayer and the tax generators is better heard, because it's absolutely obvious that our leaders have lost touch with the working class. It's time we work on legislation to unlock small business and quit handcuffing everybody. If you have any opinions or points of views on this you'd like to discuss, please put them in the comments. While you're doing so, hit like and subscribe. Also, we'll be on a podcast for 2 guys in Vegas that will be out on Monday, the 11th. So please listen there if you want to hear a more unfiltered version of Kenny and Let's Talk About It. But until then, keep the discussion going and let's talk about it.